Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you how to install ParrotOS on VirtualBox. I'm gonna also show you how to encrypt ParrotOS so that each time you start it, it will ask you for a password, and this way you protect it further. The first thing you need to do is to download ParrotOS from parrotsec.org. So let me switch to screen recording here. So first open your web browser, and in the browser put this URL, parrotsec.org, and then in parrotsec.org click on download, and here you have many editions of ParrotOS. For my use, I'm gonna use Security Edition. Of course, choose the edition that you want. So I'm gonna click on Security Edition, and on the right you have the download button, so click on it, and this will download the ISO file and save the ISO file. So let me click on save. So now that ParrotOS is downloaded, you need to open VirtualBox. So let me open VirtualBox here. When you open VirtualBox, click on Tools, and then click on New to create a new virtual machine. So name it here anything you want. I want to name it ParrotOS-sec. And for the type here, click on the drop-down list and then choose Linux. And for the version, scroll to the end and choose Other Linux 64-bit, and then click on Next. And for the RAM, depending on how much amount of RAM you have on your host, you can give the virtual machine. On my host, I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, so I'm gonna give it 4 gigabytes. So it is 4096 megabytes. And then click on Next. Keep Create a Virtual Hard Disk now selected, and then click on Create. And keep VDI selected and click on Next. And dynamically allocated also. And for the size of the hard disk, I'm gonna give it here 80 gigabytes. So click on Create. So now the virtual machine is created. On the left, make sure it is selected, and then click on Settings. We still need to change some settings. So for General here, if you wanna be able to drag and drop files to the virtual machine from your host, and you wanna also be able to copy and paste text. So here make sure that bidirectional is selected. And then click on System on the left. And for the processor, by default, VirtualBox will give it only one virtual CPU. Depending on the number of cores you have on your PC, give it like 2 or more virtual CPUs. Here I have 16 virtual CPUs, so I'm gonna give it 4 virtual CPU. And then on Display, click on Display. Increase the video memory to the maximum. And then for the other things, we still need to attach the ISO file to the virtual machine so that when you start it, you can install ParrotOS. So click on Storage. So here under Controller IDE, you have the hard disk that you created, and you have an empty CD-ROM. So click on it, and on the right, click on this icon here, and then choose a disk file. And here browse to where you saved your ISO file that you downloaded from parrotsec.org. So this is my ISO file here. At the time of this video, ParrotOS was at version 5.0.1. It might be different when you see this video. So click to select it, and then click on Open. Let me bring this a little bit like that. So click on Open. And here, if you have a USB that is 3.0 on your host, it's better to select USB 3.0. For everything else, it is okay. So click on OK now. And now we need to start the virtual machine. So click on Start. And here it is starting. So I'm gonna keep it on Try Install, and I'm gonna hit on Enter. And here's ParrotOS started. So if I put it here, View Full Screen, you can see it in full screen mode. So now you can try ParrotOS, but the purpose of this video is to show you how to install it. So on the left here, you have an icon called Install Parrot. So double click on it. So here first, you need to select the language. For me, American English is okay. So I'm gonna keep it on American English, and then I'm gonna click on Next. And for the time zone, select here your time zone. It selected the correct time zone for me. So I'm gonna click on Next. And also for the keyboard layout, I'm gonna keep it on English US. Click on Next. And here, choose Erase Disk, because we just created the virtual disk. And for the swap file, I don't advise you to put a swap file. So I'm gonna keep it on No Swap. And this is the option here to encrypt the hard drive installation. So select it here, Encrypt System. So this way, if someone tries to start your virtual machine, they will be asked for this password. And if they don't provide the correct password, they won't be able to start the virtual machine. So I'm going to put the password here and confirm the password. And when you put the password, click on Next. And here you need to put your name. So I'm going to put KST for me. And it will populate the other fields automatically except the password field. And for the password, I'm going to put a password. And I don't want it to log in automatically. So I'm going to click on Next. And now simply click on Install. And then click on Install Now. And ParrotOS will be installed. So I'm going to accelerate this video and come back when this installation is almost finished. Now the installation is finished. If you keep Restart Now checked and you click on Done, it will start once again from the ISO file. And if you try to eject the ISO file now, you cannot eject it because it is in use. So uncheck Restart Now and then click on Done. And then shut down the system. So click on System here. And then click Shut Down. So the system will be shut down. And wait for it to shut down. And then here go to Settings. We need to eject the ISO file. Go to Storage. So under Storage, click on Parrot Security ISO to eject it. And then here on the right, click on the CD-ROM. And then click on Remove Disk from Virtual Drive. And it will be removed. So now click on OK. And then click on Start. So now ParrotOS will start from the virtual hard drive where we installed it. And now it's asking you for the password. So this is the encryption password. So this is the password that we put when we chose to encrypt the drive. Put it and then press on Enter on your keyboard and ParrotOS will continue starting. Without this password, it cannot start. And here simply hit Enter on your keyboard to start it. If you wait also 5 seconds, it will start by itself. And now it's asking you to put the password that you created when you installed ParrotOS. So put the password, press Enter, and ParrotOS will start. After ParrotOS starts, you need to make sure of two things. The first one is that VirtualBox Additions are installed. So open the terminal window. By default, they come installed in ParrotOS, but in case they are not installed for any reason, this is how you check if they are installed. So dpkg space -l space pipe space rep, and then put VirtualBox and hit Enter. And if you see these two packages here, it means that they are installed. Now, if they are not installed and you don't see these two lines here, you need to install them. And to do this, it's very simple. First, you need to update the repositories. So key in sudo apt update and hit Enter. Put the password for your user. So the repositories now will be updated. And then you need to key in sudo apt install VirtualBox guest utils and hit Enter. And then to install the second package, simply swap utils by x11 and hit Enter, and it will be installed. So now we need to update ParrotOS because maybe the ISO was not updated. So let me clear the screen. So key in this command sudo apt update and then sudo apt upgrade -y and hit Enter. And this way ParrotOS will be updated and upgraded. So the packages in it will be updated and upgraded. So that was it for the installation of ParrotOS on VirtualBox. I hope that you found this video interesting and that you liked this video. If you did, please share it, subscribe to my channel, and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and this will help the channel greatly. And this way, you'll not miss any future videos I make. I'm Eloy. I want to thank you all for watching and see you on the next video.